everybody. We're back.
Hey guys, welcome to The Different Life.
Welcome back, Different Lifers.
Yes.
We are here.
Yes.
New episode, a new day.
I have on a leather jacket that you got me.
Girl.
And I feel like I'm squeaking.
You're styling and squeaking.
No, I feel like when I move, it like makes all these noises.
I married a biker chick, by the way.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
Oh, we were just talking about that yesterday.
Yes.
I know where you're going because I'm wearing a leather jacket.
When we were dating.
And when we were married, we had a motorcycle.
You rode on the back of my Harley.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it was fun.
Was it scary? There's nothing behind you. You were literally holding on for dear life.
I don't think it was scary because we never went. I rarely remember going on like the interstate. I feel like we did.
Mm-hmm. We went to the Tennessee River that one time, remember?
We did a lot of like back roads.
Your bum was numb. You had a
numb
numb
bum. We went all the way to the lake.
You were mum with a numb bum.
Yes. On the bike. And it was like literally, I would get off the bike and I would just be like, oh, my behind is so numb.
Your behind.
My behind.
You did sit behind me.
I did sit behind you. That was fun though. We were talking with some friends yesterday about that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun when we had the motorcycle, but we got rid of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't make you get rid of it, but I'm glad you did because they're kind of dangerous.
Just risky.
Just a tad bit.
I loved it, but the trade-off wasn't there as far as what you gained from it.
But that is funny that we had a motorcycle because I don't know if we look like the type of people that would have had a motorcycle or cool enough to have a motorcycle.
I thought we fit the bill.
I don't know.
I thought we fit the bill.
I feel like we're a little poserish.
Speaking of new things, we stepped into a new season, about 2 months ago?
Yes, we did.
We entered into our first sport with our kids.
We've
been holding off with sporting events forever because we're like, we don't have time. We can't be running kids all over the town. And now we're in it.
Yeah.
What are we playing?
We're playing volleyball.
Yeah. And what has happened?
It's my favorite sport of all time, first of all.
What was hilarious was when tryouts happened.
Yeah. Our kids had never, we had bumped in the yard a little bit. But we're just like, y'all are playing volleyball. And there was just this tryout thing. And it wasn't, will you make the team or will you not make the team? But it was just all these tryouts. And it was just like, go out on the court and there's all these girls.
There's probably 60 girls out there.
Probably more.
Yeah.
Go serve, go set. And they were just like,
girls were like, what does serve mean?
And we literally just pushed them off the side of the boat.
They got there and they're like, wait, I need to go use the restroom. I need to use the restroom.
Have we talked about this?
I don't know.
When I just said pushed off the side of the boat or pushed in the pool, I feel like we may have talked about this.
Anyways, it's been fun.
So if we have, forgive us, we're talking about it again.
It's okay.
It has been fun and it has been a big time family event. So we go to the practices together. We go to the games together. We either have dinner before or we have dinner after together. I've enjoyed that. It hasn't been something that's divided us.
Yeah.
It's been something that, even though the little two may not.
There's been a side of you, though, that has come out that I have yet to see in our marriage. A very
Oh, please. I am already. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about with our kids, though. I know that you and I are competitive.
I am competitive.
But, you're on the edge of your seat. Like, get the ball, get the ball.
Oh, I'm like, the ball comes over and I'm wanting them to dig it and get the ball. And I have come off of the bleachers onto the floor, not the court, but onto the floor, trying. I promise you, I'm sure every parent there thinks I am out of my mind.
And this is rec ball, by the way.
This is basic as it comes. Like if you can get your serve over, if you can get your serve over, you're winning.
Someone said something about us coaching, and I'm just so glad that we didn't coach because I just feel like the intensity
that we would bring.
Yes, that 100%. We would bring would just be. It would damage the girls. You know what I mean? They'd be like, I never want to have anything to do with volleyball.
The
for the rest of my
coaches
life.
they have are perfect.
They
are so sweet, but also encouraging and helping them to get better.
Yeah.
So they're amazing.
Yeah.
Jared and I the whole time would be like, "What are you doing?" Like we would be.
Or she might be doing that the whole time.
Yeah. Anyways, one time something happened and I was cheering so loud, like my bracelet flung off in the fans.
It's
been crazy.
Fun. It's been fun watching you go.
Yeah. We're in last place. So as you can tell, that's not sitting very well. No, our girls
to see where they have come from
yes.
to where they are at today. We were hitting the ball over the net. We're not running from the ball. We are running towards the ball now.
Yes.
Because at first when we threw the ball at them, I mean, they were like, "What are you doing? Throwing the ball at me?" And now they're like, bam, bam.
Yeah. I will say I've listened to this podcast. You're moving far away from that mic.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to remember when I listen to this.
Yeah.
I just have to tell it to you now.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because you're like all over here, and I'm
I know.
going to hear that later on. I'm going to say, Jared, talk into the microphone so that we can actually hear you.
This podcast is an interactive experiential experience.
Talk where we can hear you.
All right, so that's been our fun
Everybody's
thing.
like, okay, all right. So yes, volleyball. It's been so much fun. So much so.
Oh, that's right. There's been a new rebirth within you.
So much so. It's interesting that we're married. We didn't even talk about what we're about to talk about, but just because I said so much so, you already know where I'm going.
I always finish your sandwiches.
Oh, we are joining a co-ed volleyball league this summer.
Yep.
For us.
It's getting real.
Oh, I'm so excited. I love volleyball. I was scrimmaging with our girls teams because they'll play the girls and then the parents. Mm-hmm. And I was digging the balls.
Your knees were
my knees were bruised. I didn't have my knee pads on.
I was sitting there watching you and I'm like, whoa.
I still own my knee pads. Yeah. But I was just digging the balls. I'm just I am, and by no means am I the best in the world, but I just love it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Volleyball. That's it.
It's going to be fun. Well, let's jump in.
Let's do it.
We're going to talk about something that has been very foundational in your life and my life, and a very big necessity for being able to just move forward in life. What is that?
I would almost call it vital.
Vital.
Now, there are non-negotiables in life. Mm-hmm. And I would say Jesus.
Yeah.
Faith.
Yep.
The Word of God. These are non-negotiables. Mm-hmm. But in a separate category, not on that level.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking like how you live life.
Yeah.
I would consider this a vital key to success. Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, I agree. In your personal, spiritual, business life,
family life, kids life, all that. Yeah. And it is how to be organized.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, staying organized.
It sounds, even when we say it, it sounds so basic, and it sounds so like, oh, that's what you're talking about. But it is, if you want to be successful in any area, you must be organized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So
I teach my staff, whenever I have new members coming on board at my office, new staff members coming in, we always preach organization, because I always explain to them, to the degree that we are organized is the degree to which we can grow. Yeah. We have grown past our organization and literally lost patient after patient after patient because they're just like, what? Hold on, these people don't have their act together. But to the degree that we got it down, we have systems and we have order and organization in place. People feel the love, people feel the quality and the care and the concern that they should feel. So in the business world, organization is huge.
Yeah. And
pivotal.
As a wife and a mother, a homemaker, organization on my end is what makes the machine work. So I have 4 kids and we homeschool and I take care of our home and I cook our meals and all that. If I was not organized...
I cook meals too, by the way, Saturday morning.
What do you cook, my friend?
I cook the cakes of pan.
What do you cook?
The pancakes.
We haven't had pancakes in a while.
I know, but sometimes.
I cook most of the food.
I do the eggs.
You are very good at eggs. Fine, I'll give you
cheese.
eggs.
Do you like my eggs?
Very much.
Good. That's it.
I used to tell people I married you for your eggs.
Yeah, girl. That's right.
Okay. But to do life, and by no means are we the most organized people, and by no means is our life chaos-free. By no means is our life perfect. But it would be a whole lot worse if we weren't organized. So with how we teach our kids, how we function in our home, how we do our life and our schedule, all that requires organization. It is very important. It is pivotal. To accomplish anything well, you must be organized.
Yeah. So what does that look like for you?
Okay. So, what does it look like for me?
I know for me.
You go first.
You mean to go into it? I'll go into it. Okay.
Gentlemen first.
Gentlemen first. Organization for me, if my desk at work is cluttered, my brain is cluttered. Am I striking a chord?
You are singing my tune.
It's the truth, though,
It's the
because
truth.
I'm like, what's important? What's my priority list? I mean, I don't have a clear mind when I have all these papers and folders and apps opened up on my computer. I need organization and structure. I need a priority list. And so my desk has got to be cleaned up and decluttered in order for me to be productive in my work at the office.
Yeah. So in our family, our kids, we wake them up at 7:00 in the morning on a school day.
Okay.
We don't have to be anywhere.
Wait, you have homeschool kids. You can't just
I
let
have
them sleep
homeschool
in
kids.
until they wake up
I
at
have
like
them wake
noon?
up at 7. We have our breakfast together. And when breakfast is done, their job is to go upstairs and they are to get their rooms all clean. They're supposed to brush their teeth, make their beds, do all that so that that's everything upstairs is in order. While they're doing that, I'm down here getting the kitchen in order. I'm cleaning up from breakfast. I'm putting the stuff away. I'm doing any of the little odds and end jobs. And then at that point, we start school. I can't function when it's super disorganized, or I can't function well. Let me say that. I can function, but I can't function to my best ability.
Yeah.
And so that gives the kids, that gives them order. That gives them understanding of what is this doing. So we eat, then we get ready, and then we do school.
Yeah.
And it's during that point that they may say, oh, I want to go to, and it's one of our rules in our family is we work first and then we play.
Yeah.
And I think that can be applied to every area, not just homeschool, not just kids.
Right.
I think that's at work. That's if you are just a stay-at-home mom, but your kids aren't even there. What are the tasks that need to get done that day? And you don't do anything else until those are done.
But that doesn't sound very fun.
I know, that doesn't sound very adult. That whole idea of like, I just get to do whatever I want when I'm an adult. No, to do something well and successful, you need to get your tasks done.
Yeah. Organization, when you're getting your tasks done, when you have priority, it actually creates freedom. To be unorganized, to just go with the flow with whatever, it actually doesn't give you freedom at all. So when you can knock things off your list, man, you've got so much free time once you are just diligent and get those things done. So
Right.
that's one huge thing for me.
So making a list is important. So sometimes I will make a mental list. Not everybody can do it like this.
It's
I
too
think
much
you're
for me.
one who doesn't do too much. Your mind, does that mean your mind is a small space?
You know, I will just leave it alone, okay?
Okay.
No comment, okay?
We'll leave that.
Yeah.
We'll leave that. No, your mind is so big, your list would get lost.
Well,
Your
I
list
can't
would get
have
lost.
things bouncing in my mind.
Right.
The reason I have to have a list is not because my mind can't handle it. It's because I get so tunnel vision on something that other things just get thrown back.
Yes.
So yeah, lists are huge for
Yeah.
me.
And my mind, I can just be like, okay, I got to get this done, this done, this done, this done, this done. And I can kind of just bounce from one thing to the other. And I can be very much just like, okay, do this and do this and do this and do this. And I can really go at it. So regardless of whether you are writing your list down or it's a mental list, figure out what needs to get accomplished for the day, what needs to get accomplished for the evening. So again, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you're thinking ahead. How do I get dinner prepped? How do I get dinner planned? At least what are we having so that when it comes time for dinner, I'm not just like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Being a step ahead. And then I also try to think about the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow, what do I have to do? What do I have to be prepared for in the morning so that we are not turning into horrible, yelling at each other people as we're trying to get out the door? What do I need to have prepped for school? What do I need to have prepped for church as I lead a small group? What do I have to get prepped? And I'm always trying to be ahead.
Yeah.
And then once I get ahead, then I have time to relax.
Didn't someone, we were listening to a mentor before we got into homeschool, and it was just like, homeschool is so daunting. I don't know all of math. I don't know all the things of grammar. And the person was just like, listen, you just have to be one day ahead. You don't have to know the whole school year. You don't have to know everything in 10th, 11th, or 12th grade. Just be one day ahead of your child.
Right.
And you can do it.
Yeah.
Which is organization.
Right? Absolutely.
Application point for me, real life testimony. We walked through a season, and this is back in 2013 when we were building out our office.
Yes. I was there.
You were with me in the thick of it.
I was.
And there were just so many tasks. We had to empty out, we had to gut out this building and build out our office. And there were just so many permits and all these different tasks and furniture and everything to pick out. And it was getting overwhelming. And that's my point of bringing this stuff up, is because it can be overwhelming sometimes. And it was actually your idea, by the way. You said you should get a notepad and you should write every single step down. And as those tasks are done, mark them off. And I was like, what? That just sounds like busy work.
And again, this sounds basic, but it was revolutionary.
It was paramount, actually.
Vital.
Yes.
Should we have a vocab off?
It was epic. Spell it. You can use it as long as you can spell it.
EPIC.
There you go. Good.
I'm glad you made me spell the easiest one of all of those.
Spelling bee queen over here.
No.
Did you make it into the spelling bee?
I avoided the spelling bee at all costs.
You were sick that day?
No, I don't know.
But anyways, I remember in building out our office and all the tasks, once I got a list made out, and there were like 38, maybe 48 items on the list, I could literally just start marking things off.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it was just so encouraging just to see one after the other. And all of a sudden it's just like, I've got 10 left. I got 5 left.
Yeah.
I've got 2 left.
Right.
And so that was something that was just huge for me. And it was just simply writing it down so it wasn't just bouncing up in here all day long, overwhelming me.
Yeah. So make a list.
Yeah. Check
Whether
it
you
twice.
and do it and see if you're naughty or nice.
Yeah, that's
No.
it.
Whether you can do it in your head or on a piece of paper. Maybe I even make lists on my phone. And so it's like there and I can always have it and look back.
Yeah.
Whatever it needs to be. What do you need to accomplish that day, that week, that month? Make a list. Another thing that's super important is you need to slay laziness.
Ooh, that was invasive.
Yeah.
That was pretty brutal there.
Yeah. Was that a little too harsh sounding?
Well, is it because the consequences of laziness is way worse than actually?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that goes along with the whole idea of we get our stuff done before we play. We work before we play. And I think this is a discipline that we have to learn this discipline. I grew up, my parents were very disciplined. They're still very disciplined, very organized, very structured, very task oriented people. So this was really how I was not necessarily spoken, but just how I was raised and what was expected of me.
It was expected. Yeah.
And so then I just naturally am like that I just developed like that.
Yeah.
But laziness is something that will kill success.
Yeah.
This isn't anything. You can apply this to your business. You can apply this to your marriage. You can apply this to keeping up a home.
Yeah.
So I am a very clean person and people will say to me, how do you do it? And I think the keys are you just do a little bit every day.
That's
and you
it.
don't let anything build up.
Yeah.
You don't let your laundry build up. You don't let the dishes overflow. You make sure that you're staying on top of things. And when you do that, it's really not that hard to keep things clean.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So slay laziness.
Personal application again.
Let's do it.
So there was a time in my life where I was failing out of college because my study habits were I would just look at it and just be like, oh, I understand that and move on. And I was an undergrad and my guidance counselor pulled me aside and said, hey, your major is in biology. You want to be a doctor. Listen, you don't have it made. You're not made out for it. And it's okay. Nothing against you. But the reason I was failing out is because I didn't know how to study. I wasn't organized. I would just look at something, glance at it. Oh yeah, I get it. But all my tests were essays. Write an essay on this.
Essay, you got to know what you're talking about.
You got to know your stuff.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, I remember calling my dad just like defeated, like, I guess I just can't be a doctor. I can't be a chiropractor. And he said, do you want this? I said, yeah. He's like, are you sure you want this? And he just said, listen, get rid of all of your extra time. Get rid of all the laziness. No hang out with your friends. Get organized. Study page by page. And it was in that moment that I had to learn how to be organized and structured, even just to get through college.
Yeah.
And the next exam I made like 102. The next one I made like a 98. And I ended up passing the semester with like a B. And I never heard from that guidance counselor again, by the way. But it was just to say, it wasn't
Let's call him.
Yeah, no, let's call him right now.
Let's call him right now.
It wasn't to be mean towards him, but it called me out like, hey, like you can just go with the flow with life, or if you really want to produce something and get after it, get structured, get organized, and kick this thing in the bootay.
And I think I keep saying this because it's so true. This can apply to any area of your life. So if you are a unstructured person, that doesn't have to be you forever.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, I am so disorganized, my house is a wreck, I can't ever stay up on the chores, I can't seem to figure out the schedule, I can't ever be on time, I can't get the things accomplished, That may be your reality right now, but that does not have to be how your life continues. You can literally put into practice disciplines. You can put some self-control into play. You can slay laziness, and you can start making changes where your calendar, where your week, where your accomplishments, where your home life, where you're dealing with your kids and all the things that they have to do, things can really start falling into line if you really attack this and get organized.
I was telling you before the podcast, the first step to success in life is making your bed every single day. And you called me out and you said, well, you don't make our bed.
I sure did.
I was like, yeah, that's right, because you're still in it when I get up at 5:30 in the morning. Wouldn't that be funny though if I made the bed while you were in it, asleep?
No.
That wouldn't last very long at all.
No.
You would get upset.
Yes.
Turn the lights off.
Yes.
Take the pillows off.
And you have sweetly tried to make our bed, but you just don't make it right.
I just don't make it right. And maybe that might be on purpose or it might not be. You will just have to never know that.
Right. No, I think that you just don't make it right. Because
Gotcha.
I think when you do it, you really do try.
You make it perfect every time. I mean,
Are you joking?
You make it absolutely perfect every time. You haven't missed a day. I mean, it's just, it's amazing.
If you ever come to our house and my bed is not made,
just know that I didn't make it.
No. If our bed isn't made, something's off.
This is true.
You know what I mean? Like, have you ever come home and our bed is unmade?
Probably one time. It was probably after we had a baby or something. And you were in the baby's nursery and I was like by myself and I didn't make the bed that day. So that's probably why.
Now, while you were talking about
this. Did I just
this,
ruin your point?
No.
Okay, good.
No. While you were talking about this, it just hits me that we want to make sure that everybody understands. We are not talking about this. This is not soul issues. So if you don't make your bed every day of your life, Jesus loves you. And if you have Jesus in your heart, you're going to heaven.
He loves you right in the middle.
We're literally right now talking just about how to function at a high capacity.
Of your messy house.
Yeah, he sure does. Your house can be a wreck and your heart can be clean. So this is not an issue of salvation. This is not an issue of heaven in the least. We're just talking about how do you function.
We just want you to be organized.
At the highest degree, yeah. And how do you accomplish things?
Yeah.
Yeah. A big thing that people have asked me about is, Amy, how do you have 4 kids and you have your house clean? Now, if you were to come to my house, you would find dirt somewhere. I'm not saying it's flawless. I'm not saying it's perfect. But it is how I was raised. It's in my nature to keep things nice and clean and organized. So some steps that I have told people before. Number 1 is declutter your house. And you might need to declutter your lifestyle. So you might have a calendar. In order for you to be organized, your calendar is way too full. You need to get down to what the best things are.
Get rid of the good to make room for the best.
Exactly. So just like that's going to be the case in your life, that could be the case for business. You could have so many different marketing tools, so many different things that you're thinking about. What are the ones that produce the best? What are the ones that make the biggest impact? You organize and you declutter.
Less is more.
I feel like less is always more.
Yeah.
So let's talk about our house. Yeah. So if you are wanting to have a clean house, you need to go through, and I will literally do this multiple times.
I've had to pull back on the reins with her a little bit.
Yeah.
She used to
I will do this still multiple times throughout the year. I might even have to do it after I get off this podcast. No, I won't.
You're like, I was just reminded of that, actually.
So I will literally go through each room of my house, and I will open up every drawer. And really, if you're decluttered already, it takes about a minute per room. It's not a lot. But I will go through each drawer. I will look at each thing, and I will say, do I need this?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, because I have done it so many times, I usually do. But I'll go through the clothes, I'll go through the shoes. I just do it, and I will make a stack of stuff that needs to be get rid of. What are you laughing at?
If I ever wanted to get you to just want to give me a big old hug and kiss, it would be to walk in the room with 2 pairs of shirts, 3 pairs of boxers, and a dress shirt that I haven't worn in 2 years and be like, here you go. That is your love language with me. When I can give you old clothes that I don't wear anymore, you're just like, you've never
It's like my house loses weight. That's what it is. My house loses weight. It feels so good.
Yeah.
But I'll do it in the kitchen. I'll go through the drawers and I'll see What do I not use anymore? What may be broken? What may be something?
Yeah.
Now, this doesn't mean I throw everything away. I will put it in a stack and I'll give it away. There's sometimes I think about somebody that could use that. Different things like that with our kids.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
To probably their detriment. No, this is good for them.
Yeah.
All the time I'll say, I want y'all to go through your room. I want you to go through every drawer, open your jewelry box, go through your closet, every square inch.
Well, you've grown in that.
I have grown in that.
And you've done it out of necessity. You used to go in when they were babies and just like, and they didn't really notice because they were kids. But now as they've gotten older and they have ownership, they're like, wait, where did my favorite marker go? And you're like, oh, well, I decided that it was going to go by. And so there were some tears that were shed. But what do we talk about? How did we still keep you organized, but yet morph into that?
Well, that's what we've done. I now put the responsibility onto them.
Yeah.
And I say, I want you to go through every bit of your room.
And there's legit things that they don't use anymore. So it's not like they're like, no, Mom, I don't want to. Like, they get it. Like, they're like, you know what? I haven't messed with this thing for like 18 months.
Yeah. When I ask them to do this, they are a part of it.
Yeah.
And I say, I want you to, first of all, organize everything. So I don't want jewelry boxes all a mess. I don't want their junk drawer. I mean, it is a junk drawer, but it's like, I don't want it all where you don't even know what's in there.
Yeah.
Go through everything in your room and bring me the stuff you don't want anymore. So now they are the ones who are going through and saying, I don't want this. And usually one of ours has a hard time finding anything, but this is just part of, we'll work on that. But the other two, they will like literally bring me stuff and say, I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
I don't use this anymore. I don't need this. This broke, whatever it may be. So first step is declutter. Go through every room, every drawer, and get rid of the stuff that you don't need and that you're not using.
Yeah.
Then the next step to keeping your house clean is always put everything back. So simple, so basic. When you make dinner, clean up dinner and put everything back. When your kids are playing with toys, they need to learn. I play with this toy, have fun. If it makes a mess, cool. When you're done,
put it back.
You put it away. If it's in a box, if it's in a basket, if it's in a drawer, wherever it goes, you put it away. So put back the stuff that you've used. And the last thing is just take a little bit of time every day and make sure you are never behind. So you're not letting 4 loads of laundry pile up in your laundry room.
That's when it gets overwhelming for people. When
that's when it gets overwhelming.
Because it's like, well, I have to fold this, and it's going to take me an hour and a half to fold it.
And that's when you get deflated, and you're just like, I can't do it. I've already got, because life keeps happening. Life doesn't stop for your 4 loads, 6 loads, whatever loads of laundry. Life keeps coming, and there's more stuff every single day. Again, if this is in your business, if this is in your marriage, your family, whatever it may be. And so you've got to be intentional. This is where we slay laziness. And you've got to be intentional with those chores for the day. Incorporate your kids. I've written out 1 or 2 little chores for them. And I'm like, okay, you do these 2, you do these 2, you do these 2. I'll do these 2. We turn on some music.
That's what I was going to say. And we
all start going for it.
One thing that we've been working with you on was at first you were having to do everything. And then we were talking, and I was just like, hey, we need to delegate this to the kids. But it's like, well, they don't know how to do it right. And so we've had to work on training them, showing them how to do things, showing them how not to break the vacuum cleaner. Just because there's a Lego on the floor doesn't mean we can see if it can suck it up or not.
We do not vacuum Legos.
Or step on them. But I think even with that organization and delegation has freed you up so much.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think with my office, I started with 0 patients coming in. So I could answer the phone. I could go treat people. I could go do marketing. I could do all these other things. But if I never delegated through that, there's only so much that I could grow.
For sure.
And so that's been a huge part for you as our kids have gotten older. Being able, Redding's 3, he's out there mowing the lawn now. I mean, it's just... No? Okay.
No.
Gotcha.
He is on the lawnmower with you.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, that little boy, his eyes light up when he's on that lawnmower. It is the cutest thing. Oh, my goodness. But delegate. Yeah. And this is so good for our kids.
Oh, I know.
We don't need to raise a bunch of little pansy divas.
Yeah. I was wondering what word you're going to use to describe that.
I know. I was trying to think, where do I go with this? Yeah. They need to learn how to put the hard work in. They need to learn how to sweep and how to iron. Like our daughter, Gable Claire, she is now I taught her how to iron your dress shirts.
Yeah.
and it's her job now.
She's doing so good,
And
too.
you tell her what shirt you're wearing the next day, and she irons it for
Yeah.
you. I
Yeah.
can't physically do everything.
Yeah.
And I don't want to raise my children to not know how to do anything.
Yep.
So it's a perfect marriage. Now,
She's going to get up to college, and everyone in her dorm's going to be like, can you iron?
she can start a business.
For real. Now you're
Now
talking.
I'm talking your language.
There you
She
go.
can start a laundromat.
Gable Claire's Cleaners.
Yeah. GC Suds.
That's it. Ooh, I like it.
Anyway, all those things are so important
Yeah.
to help us be able to function in life better.
Yeah.
I know that my personality is not the same as everybody else's, but when things are clean,
Yeah.
when things are accomplished, I feel purpose at the end of the
Yeah.
day. I say, wow, I really accomplished a lot today. I feel better in my environment because I'm looking around going, we got a lot of stuff done.
Yeah.
And then our kids are learning. I think it's just, I really do think an organized life it's not a perfect life. It is no way a
Yeah.
substitute for the things that actually matter, which is Jesus and our faith and our spending time with the Lord. That's not
Yeah.
even it, but it sure does help bring some fresh air. Like you said, when you're organized, there's more freedom.
Yeah.
When you're disorganized, there is no margin because you're constantly trying to play catch up.
Now, I am also part of this with, on the weekends trying to keep things organized and things
Yeah.
cleaned up and done around the house. But I will tell you, this would be like an on-air thank you towards you. It is really nice being able to come home from a super crazy day where people are just hurting and complaining about this, that, and just all sorts of just crazy stressful situations to just come home to something that's just clean and tidy. I mean, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I mean, if I were to come home and kids are just running all over the place and clothes is just all over the place, and I mean,
Hanging
nothing,
from the rafters.
no beds are made, and you know what I mean? Like, it would just be like a stressful environment on top of a stressful environment. But to just know that I have a place to be a reprieve and a restful place has been really nice.
Oh, you're
Thanks,
so
love.
sweet.
It's the truth.
Yes.
But I'll take this moment for any mom or any dad or anyone who's listening. Like, it literally does. It's not just a life habit. It literally does create a home that's full of peace and order, and it's nice.
When the day is done and you've done all the tasks,
Yeah.
and you can, again, this doesn't mean that nothing has to be done the next day. This doesn't mean that everything is perfect. But when the day is done and you can just rest with your spouse
Yeah.
and just be like, and just
Yeah.
relax in a environment that's not hectic and chaotic,
Yeah.
it just brings physical, earthly, environmental peace.
Yeah, I agree.
Not peace that the Lord brings, but I think He is the term godliness is close to cleanliness. Is that biblical?
I don't think so.
Okay,
No.
never mind.
No.
Scratch that. I've heard that, and I'm like, is that in the Bible?
Yeah.
That's one of those phrases
I
that
don't
I'm
know.
like,
I
is
don't
that a
know.
verse or is that a phrase?
Well, we will look that up later, and if you're listening, you can look that up too.
yeah,
But
because I don't think
so.
so.
Comment in. How about that? If you know,
How about that?
Comment in. Comment
Yes,
on our
tell
YouTube
us.
channel or on our podcast, whatever. Just comment
Yeah.
in. We would love to hear if that's biblical or not,
Yeah.
because we'll have to find out for ourselves.
We will, yeah. But living an organized life just makes it makes life flow
Yeah.
in an easier pattern.
Yep. I agree.
And so we encourage you, if this is really hard for you, just take a couple steps.
Baby steps.
Just write a couple notes this week.
Inch by inch.
Life's a cinch. Yard by yard. Man,
it
it's
can get a little hard. But seriously.
For real. But take baby steps.
Yep.
Write some lists out.
Yeah.
Make your bed.
Yeah.
Declutter a room a week.
Yeah.
If it needs to get to that point, declutter a room a week.
You know what needs to be done. You're listening to this. You know exactly
And don't
what that
procrastinate.
thing is that you keep putting off. You know that thing that needs to get done.
And
Do it.
Somebody listening, don't roll your eyes and don't think, nope, this is not for me. I don't even want to put the work in. I'm telling you.
Do it.
Living an organized life is so much more satisfying.
I dare you.
Dare you.
I dare you to do it. Double dog.
Yeah. But more than that, Jesus is the most important.
Of course. Way to
Drew's
just
Drew's
land.
yeah,
that
you've already
plane.
said that 3 times.
Yes.
Oh, well, I'll say it again. Jesus is the most important, and
Boom.
He cares way more about your heart than your home.
That's it.
But we can still be good keepers of our home.
Absolutely. Good stewards.
It's actually in Proverbs 31.
That is biblical.
That is. She looks well to the way of her household, and she does not eat the bread of idleness.
Yeah.
That is the verse out of, I don't
good
know
one.
which verse, but it's in Proverbs 31.
It's a good one.
She's not idle. She works hard. She gets her stuff done. And this is what we're called to be.
So
Yeah.
get organized.
Get organized.
Do it.
Do it.
All right, guys.
Y'all have a great rest of your day.
We have had a blast
We have
talking about
organization.
I wonder how many times we've said organization.
I'm going to guess 14.
Yeah. Way more. 30.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Wow.
Easy. 30.
Okay.
So,
Well.
all righty, guys. Well, have a great rest of your day, and we can't wait to be back.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.